Hello guys, today I thought why not put up a video about the 262 A-2a, which you could acquire in the newest winter event that was going on 1 or 2 weeks ago. And because Toastman was not able to acquire that vehicle, I thought why not put up a short little video about it so people that were not able to get it can take a look if they miss out on something. Overall, you don't miss out on something with that plane. The 262 A-2a has the same flight performance as the normal 262, just with 2 less cannons, with slightly more ammunition on each cannon. That can be useful sometimes, not always. In some situations, you would like to have a bit more hitting power, but as we will see in this match, in most cases, 230mm are perfectly fine for dealing with any targets that will attack you. At the start of the match we are trying to get up to around 530 kilometers plus, because that's one of the best ways to climb with the 262. It's not a very good climbing plane, but overall the flight performance is pretty good compared to other jets at that rating, and especially the target acquisition, the changing of direction when you are attacking the plane. That's one of the strong points of this plane. Other jets tend to be very unstable or tend to freeze a lot at higher speeds, so you cannot readjust your course quickly. That's not the case in the 262. This plane will work perfectly fine. Here I try to turn in on the enemy team, but without losing most of my speed. Especially if you're in a top tier match where you're fighting prop planes most of the time. If you keep your speed up in the 262, you generally don't have big problems. Even when the prop fighters, as will be happening in this match, are above you, you still have some options. Either fly away from them or head on them, which is not the wisest decision if you're really keen on surviving the match. But in some situations that's just the most easy way to get a kill, especially because most of the players, from my experience, are not very good at head-ons, and they try to misjudge their approaching speed or their attack angle, and because of this I'm one of those guys who generally goes head-on if the plane I'm flying is capable of inflicting some damage, while being also able to take some damage. And that's the 262 checks all those boxes. It can take hits and it can dish out a lot of damage. And here we see that our team consists of 3 B-2 Arados, which is a big letdown. And here we approach a Seafire and clip his wing. And here you can see the nice roll rates of the 262, where even when a maneuverable plane like a Spitfire or a Seafire tries to maneuver away from the head-on, you still have a very good chance of getting your guns on target. There are not many jets out there that can do that. I think you can do that a bit with the Meteor, but the roll rate is not so good on the Meteor. And also with the Vampire, which is generally a very maneuverable plane. First I tried to attack the Meteor here, but the Spitfire just forces the head on and I blow him up. He also gets my wingtip and damages me very severely, and the Meteor is on my tail, so I just decide, well, I'm out of here. I go in a dive and fly away and land. Luckily the Meteor, the Mark IIIs that you mostly encounter at this battle rating, are far slower than the 262 and you just fly away from them. Now we will see another strong point of the 262, being able to land with severe damage to your airframe and to your wings in general. Because of the wing-mounted engines, you just land on the engines like on skids and slip around along the runway at high speeds. I'm not even sure if there's a limit on the speed you can do when landing on the engines, because here I touch on the runway at close to 600 kilometers an hour, and that's not a problem at all. So we survive to attack them at a later time in the match, which will turn out to be very useful for our team. While we are here on the runway and preparing, the enemy team are putting a hard fight against our team, shooting down a Horton and damaging 190. And I'm getting a bit nervous because I want to get back up and fighting to ensure that we will win. Because losing against a nearly full prop fighter team would be quite annoying. It happens, especially if your team gets overconfident and just goes head on with every jet prop fighter they are finding, even if you're in a advantage position. The first two kills I got, yeah, they were also in head-ons, but I couldn't really avoid those, because just avoiding the head-ons generally does not do you any favor if the enemy planes are still in an advantage position, either faster than you or above you. And that was the case with the Spitfires and the Seafires that I shot down earlier. They had the numerical advantage against me, and they had a better position, and with them going head on, my cards improved. Later in the match here, you will see that if there's not a way where the head-on is the best option, I will avoid the head-on at all costs and try to get a better shooting position. All of my team is flying back to base now, apart from this Me-2a though, which I'm not really sure what he's doing. I think he's taking ground units. But shortly after he will turn around and run for his life, because this is Seafire is up on his 6 and tries to get him. I think all of the enemy team is low on ammo at this point, and because I don't see any one of them, I thought, well, maybe they are all rearming, and we will see later if that's true. The Seafire tries to get up to the A-2a Arado here. He won't make it. The Arado is at altitude and has the better position here, and so the Seafire has to break away. I'm not really sure if the Seafire spotted me here. I think he did. That's probably also why he chose to fly back home. Now I'm separated quite far from my teammates, and this is one of the most dangerous parts here in the match, because if there's still a fighter hanging around their airfield and gets the jump on me from out of the cloud layer, I'm in severe trouble. But as it will turn out, they are all on the runway, so everything's fine. I only have to keep the distance, have the patience, and let them take off again, while keeping them still spotted, so maybe at some point we get some help from our team. The enemy B-17 is now in a position where I have the chance to engage him without getting shot at by A-2a or the enemy fighters, and so I dive in and try to kill him. First I thought, well, maybe attack the Seafire, but then I switched target and go for the B-17, because the Seafire was waiting for me and intended to go into a head-on. And 230mm strike home and rip B-17 to pieces. Now all the fighters have picked me as their first priority target, and they're climbing up to me, and now I have to try to avoid those and still put pressure up on them. This Spitfire here tries to catch me in the head on, but I avoid it. He could have turned around here and maybe outmaneuvered me. He chose to continue climbing, which definitely was not the best idea. Because I still have more speed than he does. And put the speed up into altitude and catch him while he's trying to get into the cloud layer. Coming back down, and we have 2 targets here, and the Seafire is a bit too far away. The attack angle is not perfect, so we just pick on the Tempest. The Seafire tries to turn into us, but he doesn't get it quite, and we clip the Tempest Mark II's elevator, and he will go down eventually. Here I thought, well, attack or pull up again, and choose to attack, but the Seafire is just watching me and turns under my guns. I waste a bit too much ammo here, but we still have a healthy amount of it. Thanks to my speed, I'm still able to climb above the second Seafire that's coming in. And now I pick this as a target. At that point I was still thinking, when will my teammates arrive? And luckily, right at this moment, the Horton attacks the Seafire and gives me the time to break away. Now I just wait for the Horton to distract the Seafire, and I will turn around again to engage. And he breaks away, but with our roll weight we still manage to get the guns on target. Now only one fighter is left, and he's hiding at his runway, but our Horton friend that came to help us we get the kill on it, so I think he must hit the engine of the Seafire, because he crashed right in front of the runway without any visual damage I could see. Or maybe he just doesn't want to fight jet after jet. That could also be a possibility. First I thought he would land here, or maybe wait on the runway or quit out, but for some reason he just continues on and presents a nice target for the Horton. And that's the game. Ending it with 6 kills. Didn't die. Perfect. What could you ask for? Even with some slight mistakes, we still got a decent result out of it. And that's the 262 A-2a. How it generally handles and how it can perform in battle. In realistic at least. But it also performs very well in simulator. Haven't tried it in arcade though. I have it fitted out mostly with most modules. I only need a couple to spade it now, but the most important modules are researched and performance is quite nice now.